Happy hello, dear heart, on this International Day of Peace. Did you know that it also always falls a couple of days or the day before the fall equinox, like this year? I believe it is a reminder to be mindful of letting go and non-attachment, as the Buddhist in me has been learning how to do since 2017, loving a soul who introduced me to meditation, and my first go at it was a week-long silent retreat. And Sue, the wonderful instructor, she said, "This is not something I would recommend," but I fell in love with the first words she said to me in our meditation. As a competitive athlete, anorexic most of my life, my body was actually giving me signals, though, like, this food hurts, this food hurts. So I just had 5 safe foods. Now I know better, and we need like 25 to 30 different varieties of fiber foods to heal our gut, and we will know calm and restore our microbiome in our brain. And it's not menopause, and it's not mental health, it's environmental illness. Going back to the lovely Sue Child, who taught me how to have a soft belly for the first time at 50 years of age. When she said the words soft belly, I'm like, what the heck is a soft belly? As a personal trainer, we're told to hold our abs in. And for me, my abs were always held in because I had this belly bloat since I was in the 80s. And that's when the anorexia really kicked in. I was sort of called I think it's called a drunkorexia. I knew how to drink, and I couldn't eat because it was too much for my liver. I learned all the tricks on how to drink smartly to protect my body as much as I could, because I knew my body was hurting in the 80s. So going back to Sue and the soft belly, that was like, permission to let go. So I am giving you permission. If nobody's ever told you to protect your Buddha belly, this is what I do. I created the Buddha Berry Peace Tree Method to help us protect our Buddha belly and our mind, and to live a life with deep inner peace in a toxic world. Finally sleeping for 8 hours. It wasn't menopause, but we must pause in midlife when our bodies are leaking and screaming with all of this, that, or the other thing.
Your mind is like a browser with 100 tabs open, and they're all playing different songs at once. Sound familiar? Today, we're diving into mental detox, how to find peace in our increasingly toxic world. By the end of this episode, you'll have practical strategies to clear mental clutter and create genuine inner calm.
And it couldn't be more timely. According to recent research, about 75% of adults report experiencing moderate to high levels of stress in just the past month alone.
That's a staggering number. What exactly do we mean when we talk about mental detox?
Well, from a psychological perspective, mental detox is a deliberate and systematic process of cleansing the mind from accumulated mental and emotional clutter. Think of it like decluttering your home, but for your thoughts and emotions.
That's such a good analogy. And I imagine this clutter builds up pretty quickly in our modern world.
Absolutely. We're part of a culture that values being busy over slowing down to sit with ourselves. This constant state of autopilot leaves us depleted, distracted, and disconnected.
You know what's fascinating? I read that our environment plays a huge role in this mental clutter.
That's right. Environmental factors can literally change our brain structure and function. Everything from noise levels to natural light affects our neural pathways related to mood regulation and stress.
Wait, so our surroundings are actually rewiring our brains?
Exactly. And here's something interesting. Even the aesthetics of our space matter. Cluttered spaces create feelings of overwhelm and anxiety, while tidy spaces can invoke a sense of calm.
So what can we actually do about this? What are some practical steps for mental detox?
Well, one of the most effective methods is mindful meditation. But here's something people don't often talk about. Mindfulness isn't always immediately calming.
Really? That seems counterintuitive.
Yes, research shows that for some individuals, mindfulness practices may initially increase anxiety. It's important to start slowly and find what works for you.
That's really important for people to know. What other strategies can help?
One powerful approach is connecting with nature. Studies show that spending time outdoors significantly reduces anxiety and boosts mood.
And that's something anyone can do, right?
Absolutely. Even if you live in a big city, you can find pockets of nature in parks or create a small green space at home with houseplants.
Speaking of the body-mind connection, I've heard there's an interesting link between our gut and our emotions.
Yes. This is fascinating. The gut is often called our second brain because it produces neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine that directly influence our mood.
So what we eat actually affects our mental state?
Precisely. During a mental detox, focusing on nutrient-dense, whole foods can significantly impact our mental clarity and emotional balance.
Let's talk about technology. It seems like it's becoming a bigger source of mental clutter.
Indeed. The research shows that constant digital connectivity can lead to mental and emotional disorders. It's crucial to set boundaries with our devices.
What kind of boundaries do you recommend?
Try establishing tech-free periods, maybe 30 to 90 minutes at a time, where you completely disconnect from devices and focus on being present.
That sounds challenging, but necessary.
It is, but the benefits are worth it. Studies show that reducing screen time can significantly improve mental clarity and emotional regulation.
Let's talk about breathing. I know it sounds simple, but...
Simple but powerful. Breath awareness actually helps tie the mind to the present moment, which is the only place where we can truly embrace life.
Can you share a specific breathing technique?
One effective method is the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system.
That's really practical. What about emotional processing? How does that fit into mental detox?
Emotional processing is crucial. Mental detox isn't just about clearing negative thoughts, it's about creating space to understand and process our emotions.
And journaling can help with that, right?
Exactly. Keeping a gratitude journal or emotional diary helps identify patterns and triggers in our mental state.
What about the role of community in mental detox?
Community is vital. Research shows that group meditation and collective healing practices can be more effective than solo efforts.
That's interesting. Why is that?
It's about the power of being seen and heard. When we share our experiences with others, it validates our feelings and provides support networks.
Let's talk about physical movement. How does that contribute to mental detox?
Movement is crucial. Activities like yoga or even simple stretching help release stored tension and emotions from the body.
And it doesn't have to be complicated, right?
Not at all. Even gentle movement like walking or basic stretching can have profound effects on mental clarity and emotional balance.
What about people who feel overwhelmed by all these practices?
Start small. Pick one practice, maybe just 3 minutes of breathing exercises each morning, and build from there.
That makes it feel more manageable.
Remember, mental detox is not about perfection, it's about progress and creating sustainable habits.
Speaking of habits, how long does it typically take to see results?
Research shows that consistent practice over 21 days can start to form new neural pathways, but everyone's journey is different.
That's helpful to know. What about resistance? Sometimes we resist these practices even though we know they're good for us.
That's completely normal. Resistance often comes from our brain's preference for familiar patterns, even if they're not serving us well.
How do we work with that resistance?
Acknowledge it without judgment. Sometimes just observing our resistance with curiosity can help dissolve it.
That's such a gentle approach.
Yes, gentleness is key. Mental detox isn't about forcing change, it's about creating space for natural transformation.
As we wrap up, what's one final piece of advice you'd give our listeners?
Remember that peace isn't the absence of chaos, it's the ability to remain calm within it. Start with small steps, be consistent, and trust the process.
That's beautiful. And I love how practical these strategies are.
Yes, because ultimately, inner peace isn't some distant goal. It's available right here, right now, through these simple practices.
Well, there you have it, folks. From breathing techniques to nature connection, we've covered practical ways to find peace in our chaotic world.
And remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Start with what resonates most with you.
Remember, in a world of constant noise, finding your inner quiet isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity.